Alright guys, ZFR back here again, and pretty much in this video we're going to be talking about Mafia 3 because I actually just beat the game a few days ago. And before I get in this, I just want to say sorry really quickly if my voice sounds a little bit different today. I think I'm coming down for cold or something, or I'm just losing my voice, but whatever. So pretty much I recently beat Mafia 3, and I have a good amount to say about the game. I just have some things to say about it. Now, I'm just going to start by saying this. Mafia 3 is freaking amazing. And just to be warned, this video will contain spoilers. Alright, this is not for someone who has not beat the game yet. It's going to contain a few different spoilers. It's going to talk about some of the main plot points in the game and stuff, and go into specific characters and all that. So just be warned, you have been warned. But anyway, Mafia 3 was an amazing game in my opinion. The game was simply just outstanding. Now, there were some problems in it. I do see where people are saying that it had like a weak what's the word I'm looking for, missing structure or whatever when it came to side missions or something, because they're saying, oh, it's the same side missions rehashed, repeated over and over again. And yeah, that's kind of true. I do see what they're talking about there, but it's not as bad as some people are making it out to seem. Like, let me just start off by kind of squashing this. Like, it's true that the side missions are rehashed and redone, and if you don't like that, that probably will bother you a little bit when you play this, but it's not nearly as bad as I feel some people are making it out to be. Because at the end of the day, you're going to these different locations for these side missions, you're going after these different people and all this different stuff, and what I think makes the side missions slightly different each time is they have different stories behind them. So if you're keeping up with the story, you're doing all of this stuff for different reasons each time you go do it. But yeah, for the most part, the side missions are technically a lot of rehashes, redos, all that stuff. So you are going to be replaying the same side missions a lot in this game, even though they might feel slightly different because of the location, because of what's going on in the location you're going to do these side missions in, because of why you're doing it at that point in time. Because like I said, there's just a lot of stuff that changes. But yeah, that is the biggest problem with the game from what I can see, the repeated side missions. But like I said, when you look at the grand scale of the game, it works, and it's not as bad as people say it is. For the type of game this is, I do think it works for the most part. But anyway, another thing I want to talk about is how Mafia 3 was broken when it first released. And I got the game after the release. I'm playing it on PS4, and let me just say, like, I have not had any problems with it. Like, I have not had one single technical problem with Mafia 3. I don't know if people are still having these problems. Of course, by now they've patched it a couple times probably. So, of course, I'm not having as many problems as people that bought the game at launch. But so far, Mafia 3 is freaking amazing. But anyway, getting into all the stuff I really want to talk about, the first one being the story in this game. Now, I know a lot of people are going to complain right away that the story starts off kind of slow and stuff, and it's another one of those build-up stories. And that was a huge problem with The Witcher 3 too, like, where people just weren't willing to sit through, the first part of the game, which wasn't as interesting. But man, like, just seeing, I think the first part of this game is really necessary because it gets to show you the relationship between Sammy, Ellis, and Lincoln, and then it's so much more emotional to you when you actually have to watch them get murdered by McConnell and Georgie, two people that Sammy, Ellis, and Lincoln thought that they could honestly kinda somewhat trust. Like, but Yeah, man, like that was just a brutal scene. Seeing them die, Lincoln gets shot in the head and everything by Georgie, his supposed to be friend and all that. And things just go crazy. He gets saved by Father James and everything. Donovan comes into the story. Like things just go wild. Lincoln hires all these underbosses and goes after all the people who work under McConnell and then McConnell himself. Um, so yeah, for the most part, like this was pretty freaking great. Like I love the setup for the story. I love the overall layout of the story. But what I really loved was like just some of the smaller stuff in the story, like just how Lincoln knows a bunch of these different characters, or he goes around meeting a lot of these characters. And I really love like the connections between some of these characters. This game did a really good job with making good characters. I'm gonna say that right now. A lot of the characters in this game are pretty great in my opinion. Lincoln, I like the fact that they go over the fact that Lincoln is definitely not a good person multiple times in this game, like because of the things he's doing. Yes, he has a good reason to do all of this. Yes, when you think about, he is doing it for revenge, and it's hard for a lot of other people to say they wouldn't do the same thing similar if they knew they could. But at the same time, Lincoln's definitely not a good person after all this. After everything he does in this game, no way. He just kills way too many people, and even in some cases, probably ends up killing innocent people. Getting also bringing a lot of heat down on blacks, of course. Since game is set during the time of racism and stuff in America, which they go over a lot in this game. Like they don't shy away from it at all, and I like it. I liked it. Like it felt good to fight the KKK. I actually have a video on that, which I realized there was no audio for. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry about that, guys. But whatever. For the most part, like the story was just freaking great, and the characters are all great. Man, I freaking love Donovan. I swear, give us a Mafia game give us a DLC where we just play as Donovan. I freaking love Donovan throughout the whole freaking game. He's just such a cool character, man. Like, it's just fun to see him and Lincoln on screen together. But, anyway, moving on from that, like, some of the other stuff I really liked about the game is the combat. I like the way they did it. I felt like once you get the hang of every little thing you can do in combat and stuff like that, it's fun. Like the stealth is simple and all that. Like the combat overall is simple. The game overall, when you look at it, is simple. It's nothing extremely new that we haven't seen before or anything, but at the same time, it's simple, and you know what they say. Sometimes less is more. And in this case, I definitely did think less was more. Like we just got to experience a lot more. I felt like, without having to learn a bunch of complicated controls and stuff, and all that craziness. But yeah, the combat was really satisfying. Like just the blood effects, just like the enemy death animations, like the way the guns and everything feel. Like it was satisfying combat and all that, and mixed together with what was going on in the story, I think it was pretty good. As for the open world, I want to talk about this because this had a pretty good open world. I was not expecting Mafia's open world to be this good. This has to be one of the best modern open world cities I've ever seen in a game. Like, I'm trying to think back to something else. Watch Dogs definitely didn't have one this good. I'm talking about the first Watch Dogs. I'm not sure about Watch Dogs 2, maybe. Grand Theft Auto definitely didn't have a great open world like this. Like, people try to defend Grand Theft Auto's open world all the time. In my opinion, it was just kind of empty. Like, I mean, it had side missions and stuff. It had little areas and towns where you could find people, but it just felt, it felt like kind of empty. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it definitely didn't feel like it was as active as it should have been, but it was active. That's what I'm trying to get. But yeah, I feel like this open world did a good job with that. You got lots of NPCs walking around the streets. When you go into like a little outside restaurant area, there's plenty of them out there. You know, you just had a lot of them on screen and stuff. I really like that about it. And the graphics are pretty good. I don't think they're anything insanely crazy. The art style is kind of a little bit different when you look at, but at the same time, overall, the graphics, I think they're pretty good. They work really well for this game. But yeah, for the most part, that's really all I have to say about the game. Like, I think it was freak. I thought it was one really fun playthrough. It took me a while to beat the game. Because I actually got two other new games at the same time. I got this one. Like, I beat Tomb Raider first, then I beat this. And so far, I gotta say, I loved Mafia 3. I'm probably going to replay it once I clear up some of these other games I got on myself that I haven't beaten yet. But anyway, I just kind of want to do this video because I know it's kind of late for a review, but this kind of is my review. If I had to give Mafia 3 a score, like in an actual review, this would be a solid 9 for me. Like, there's no doubt about it. Like, I just think the game is outstanding, and I thought it did a really good job. I was really impressed by it, like, because, you know, I went into this game having low expectations, and that's why I'm saying, like, if you go into a game with high expectations, you're never going to really get as much as you hope you do, you know. If you go in with low expectations, chances are you'll be surprised here and there. So yeah, I was really satisfied with Mafia 3, and I can't wait to play more of it. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave likes and comments down below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button to really help me out. Let's see if we can get this channel up to 200 subscribers. We are not that far away. We're only about 40 something away from that, so let's try working towards it. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video. ZFR out.